All right, doing a little demo today. This is the Model 3 long range rear wheel drive. This is interesting. I set up this self-serve demo, which is the first time I've done a self-serve, so you can't really talk to anybody. And when you set it up, you're basically setting up Model 3, Model Y, or X or S. And what happens is you can't choose the submodel. Like you can't say Model 3 Performance or Model Y Performance. This place, our dealer doesn't have any performances that I could see. So I chose a Model 3, and I want to drive a Model 3 and a Model Y back to back, same day, and just kind of do some measurements on the Model Y for the cargo space. But I wasn't sure what they would have. Usually they have a dual motor long range for demos, but today this was what they have, and this is what I got. And as you can see, it's brand new. It's only got 87 miles, but it does say long range, so that to me means that it is a rear wheel drive long range. So it's basically the big battery, should be the Panasonic battery, just doing a demo drive through Buffalo here. Should be the Panasonic battery, somewhere around 78, 79 kilowatt hour usable. And this is the king of range and efficiency right now. The LFP is no longer available on the Tesla website. They took that off. Shorter range cost more money because it didn't qualify for the tax credit. This one does qualify because it's the Panasonic battery. Same size battery as the all-wheel drive and the Performance come with, except for it's a rear-wheel drive. So this car is magically efficient. It was just tested at 386 miles of range at a constant 70 mile an hour on the Out of Specs Reviews channel. And I believe it's 4.8 or 4.9 miles per kilowatt hour efficiency. Just incredible efficiency. Now this one in particular that I'm driving, as you can see in the picture there, has the 19-inch wheels. So this one doesn't get that kind of efficiency. But the one that Out of Spec tested, Kyle tested, is tested at 386 miles of range. It's a constant 70 mile an hour. And I think that the temperatures were good, 70 to 80 degrees. He tests out in Colorado, so you got a little bit thinner air up at higher elevation. So it's kind of the best of the best. The all-wheel drive, just for comparison, so basically the dual motor version of this car got 370 miles, which is also incredible on the same test, 70 mile an hour range test. So you can go all-wheel drive and get 370, or you can go rear-wheel drive like this one, but you have to get the 18-inch Aero wheels, not these 19-inch wheels, to get the 386 range. I believe this one, with these wheels are not efficient at all. You lose quite a bit of range. So if you're going for efficiency, you always want to have the Aero wheels, and that's the way I would go. Now I probably, for me, would probably go for the all-wheel drive, although this car is magically efficient for road tripping. But I am up north here, and I do have a cottage up in Canada, so I think it would be very cool to have the all-wheel drive and be able to just take it up north anytime I want, not really worry so much about driving in snowy conditions. And it's not that much more expensive. They have such great deals happening right now. They're really starting to pull all the levers. They've got like $3,800 off in inventory vehicles. They've got a 0% interest deal if you purchase the $8,000 full self-driving package, which, you know, it's probably a pretty good deal because I think it only adds about $35 or something to your monthly payment, because you're now going down to 0% interest, and you can't subscribe to full self-driving for $35 a month. I believe it's $99 a month. So that's something to think about. Really what I'm doing today is, I want to try the full self-driving a little bit, but really what I want to do today is kind of drive this back to back with a Model Y, which I have set up after this, and just kind of figure out which vehicle I want to buy. I believe I really want a performance in either vehicle, because I drove the performance up in Toronto, and it's just, once you drive a performance, it's hard to kind of like drive anything slower, because you really want that big power. But the problem is you can't demo. There's no performances here to demo. But I did demo them in Canada, but I didn't feel like the Y performance felt nearly as quick as the 3 performance, which we know it's slower, but it felt quite a bit slower, and I believe that's because it doesn't have the different modes as far as the insane mode. Alright. I think the all-wheel drive just feels faster than this, although this feels pretty snappy. I've been driving...
Stay straight to take the Interstate 190 North ramp.
Try to get rid of that. I've been driving Rogers LFP rear-wheel drive for about a year now.
Take the Interstate 190 North ramp on the
and it feels kind of snappy, but it's not, you know, it's the slowest one. It's a 5.80 to 60. So let's punch this. And this gets up and goes pretty good. I know the long-range rear-wheel drive, the new one that you can get now, is faster than... Come on, buddy. It's faster than the LFP is by about a full second. I think it's like a 4.90 to 60. But the all-wheel drive is like a 4.20 to 60. So that's quite a bit quicker than I believe what this one is here. I believe this is the new rear-wheel drive long range. Basically, it's got the same battery. 78, 79 kilowatt hour usable. Magically efficient. This is the car for efficiency and road tripping right here. This is the one you want. We don't want to go to Canada.
Now keep left.
I don't think Tesla would like that. So we're staying this way here. Okay. It's got some jam. The other kind of downfall of this car is you do not get the premium stereo system. And I have to say, the stereo system that Tesla puts in these, like, it's not bad. It's not bad at all. But the all-wheel drive that has the premium stereo system, which I believe is like 17 speakers, it has a subwoofer and an amplifier, dual amplifier or something like that. And you have another setting here where you can crank the sub up in the equalizer. Just wanted to show that in these rear-wheel drives, the stereo, if you go to the equalizer audio settings, so you don't have the extra subwoofer setting. So you just don't have the quality as far as the stereo goes. This car doesn't have any of that, same as the LFP didn't have any of that. So the stereo is just like so-so. It's not the greatest. It's okay. But the all-wheel drive and the performance, that has a killer stereo, and you can crank it. All right, I'm
Now
gonna
turn
go
left onto
left.
West Terry Street.
Right here, getting used to the turn signals. No stocks, kind of sucks, but is what it is. You just got to get used to it. We'll go down here to the park here, and we'll just have a quick walk around of this blue. Blue is nice. Blue Model 3 rear wheel drive, long range. You can get these for a steal right now. I believe you can get them. You're under 35K now. I think you might be under like probably around 33K if you get an inventory one. Upwards of $3,800 off on inventory cars. You buy full self-driving, pay the $8,000, and then you get zero interest. I think that we're going to get even better deals toward November and the end of December, which is the end of the year, end of everything. So they're going to be pulling all the levers. Yeah, right here on the mighty Niagara. It's one of my favorite spots when I do a demo test ride, Tesla demo. You got Canada right across the river here, which is really cool, and it's just a gorgeous day. So let's go down here. Hopefully there's a little bit of space down here. Try to point it out at the water here. Oh yeah, just gorgeous spot. Gorgeous spot out there. Look at that, there's the Peace Bridge right there. See all the traffic on a Saturday? And you can see the incredible mighty Niagara motoring along at somewhere around 9 miles an hour, I think, is the current here. And then that's Canada over there, Fort Erie. All right, let's get out and have a look at this car. All right, obviously this has the nice white interior, which is nice. And it's got the blue exterior. Got the 19-inch wheels. But let's check it out. So yeah, so see you got no badge there at all. So that means it is a rear wheel drive, long range. And obviously we got the trunk here. Not a lot going on. It's huge sub trunk. And of course the seats go down, which gives you a lot of room. Let's see how much room that gives you when you put the seats down. I really like the white interior. Of course you get the rear screen. White interior is so nice. White door panels. So yeah, that's the so the 235 4019s. Interesting. Eagle Sports, Goodyear Eagle Sports. So that makes me wonder too. I know these wheels are much less efficient, but I'm wondering about these tires themselves, how efficient they are. Because I know the Hankook Ion Evos are supposed to be one of the most efficient tires going, so could be a combination of tires and wheels. They do have some aero inserts here, but it's a nice looking wheel, but not very efficient according to some of the tests. So kind of gives you the look. So I just locked, the car just locked. I was going to say, hopefully it opens back up. On these self-drive demos, what they do is they send you the info to your phone. So you have to have the app. You have to download, if you're not a Tesla person, you have to download the app, sign into the app, and then they send you it for the time. Now it's 2:44. So I've got a Model Y set up for a demo at 3 p.m. So I got to head back to the dealer, get back there by 3, and then I'm going to drive a Model Y back to back with this car. This is a really nice car, I have to say. The new refreshed Model 3 is just fantastic compared to the LFP that I got for Roger, which I drive quite a bit. That car it's a really nice car, but the refresh is just so much better in so many ways. Got the cooled seats, which is the biggest thing. I can feel them. And we're gonna do some measurements. Let me get in the Y, because I'm anxious to see how big the Y is in the back with my tape measure. This is my big problem. Is I love the way the 3 drives. I love how low you can sit. You cannot sit low in a Model Y. I don't know why the hell they can't figure out a way to drop that seat lower. You just can't. So that's one of my biggest pet peeves, is I hate the seating position in the Model Y. I love the seating position in the Model 3. You can drop it right down and it feels like a sports car. It handles like a sports car. The Model Y feels much more like an SUV. So that's kind of like what I hate and like about each of them. Now, on the other side of things, the Model Y is huge. I could use it probably half the amount of days I'm working and put my tools in the back. It's so big. This car, it's a sedan, it just doesn't have it. It's for a sedan. It's huge. It's got a big trunk. It's got a big sub trunk. It's got a frunk. So all those things make it really usable as far as a sedan goes. But when you compare it to the Model Y, as far as cargo space, there's just no comparison. The other thing too is you can order the Model Y with a hitch, which is nice. Now, I know you can buy a hitch aftermarket for a Model 3, and I may do that because I would like to be able to put my e-bike on the back and be able to pull my small cargo trailer with my snowmobile. The Model Y will do that. You can just buy the hitch with the wiring right from the factory. That's another huge pro for the Model Y. So when I keep going back and forth between these two and I can't decide, it's almost impossible. Of course, right now, if I bought a car right now, it would have to be a Model 3 because this has all the refresh treatment. The Model Y is still old school to me. So right now I'm waiting for the new Model Y refresh, which will come out next year. And once that comes out, I'm going to have to drive them both back to back. And that's going to be the toughest thing to decide. Do I want more cargo space, more utilitarian vehicle, something that's just more usable overall, has a trailer hitch, all those things? Not as efficient and not as fun to drive. The seating position's not as good. Hopefully they fix that in the refresh. Hopefully it's lowered a little bit as far as being able to lower the power seat down. Or do you go for the Model 3, which is total fun, feels like a sports car, hugs the road better, it's lighter, snappier. Obviously if you get the performance, you get the insane mode. The Model Y performance doesn't even have insane mode. It just has, I believe, sport and standard. And even though it's a 3.5 seconds 0 to 60 in the Model Y performance, it doesn't feel that fast to me. I actually drove an all-wheel drive Model 3 back to back with the Model Y performance, and I thought the Model 3 all-wheel drive felt snappier, like 0 to 30, like right at the very bottom, than the Model Y performance. And that to me is just bizarre. I think the throttle mapping down low in the Model Y is tamed down, even in the performance. And obviously in the 3 performance, you have the insane mode, so the mapping is crazy. But in the 3 all-wheel drive, just the dual motor, I believe that mapping feels sportier at the very bottom than any Model Y. It just feels snappier to me. So do I want a really fun driving car, or do I want a car that's more utilitarian for cargo? That's a hard choice. Okay, back to the dealer, and let's go grab the Model Y demo, because we got to get there in 10 minutes and pick that up. Okay, one thing I did observe there. So this Model 3 rear-wheel drive long range it does feel pretty snappy down at the bottom. And as I was saying, I think this 0 to 60 is like 4.9, if I recall. And right, like, boom, right there, that feels pretty good. But what I will say is, on the highway,
In 500
anything over
turn
like
left onto South
70 miles an hour, maybe 65, it just feels like it has no jam. Like hitting from 70, 65 to like 85, it just didn't feel like it had much power. Felt pretty lame. Felt pretty lame. So right here, I'm going pretty slow here, going like 17, 18. Punch it. Not too shabby for a rear wheel drive. I don't know that it feels like a whole second quicker than the LFP does, which that LFP feels pretty quick to me. But it is a smaller battery, so it's lighter. This is a bigger battery. This is 78, 79 kilowatt hour. I believe the LFP is only like 58, 57, 59 usable, 57 usable kilowatt hour. So that's going to be lighter than this battery. Anyways, those are just some observations I made on this car. This is a magically efficient car for road tripping. If you do not need all-wheel drive, this is an incredible vehicle. Price is great. All right, we're back to the dealer. And those are all things to know about this car. I personally probably would get the all-wheel drive because it's not that much more. It's definitely quicker, and it would do well in my climate up here in the snow. Okay, so we're just dropping this one off, and we're gonna go and try the Model Y now. So we're gonna go into the app and switch over to the Model Y. Okay, we are in a Model Y now. It hasn't even been used, so I'm gonna take this off. This is a self-serve demo drive. I will put that back on though later. Let's just see what this is. I think this is a rear wheel drive. It is the nice red. Let's see here. Let's go down to software. Oh, it's a long range. Oh, same thing. Long range rear wheel drive. And the reason I think it's a long range rear wheel drive is the same as the blue one I drove. See, it's got no badge there. That would say dual motor. Just for example here, for comparison, this white one, which is what I thought it was. See, that says dual motor. So, and it says demo drive today, but I guess they won't let me drive that one. This one looks brand new. Got the black Aero wheels, the 19s. Let's see what it's got. Continental Pro Contact, 255 45 19s. One thing I do like about the Model Ys versus the Model 3s is they have this nice, this is for, just keeps all the scratches off. Got this nice body cladding here, and it's also all along the bottom here on the rocker panel. The Model 3 doesn't have that at all. This should be actually the slowest model. It's only got 179 miles on it. This should be the slowest model Tesla makes. I think this one is up in the 6-second range, 6 point something, 6.8, 6.9, because it's a single motor, rear wheel drive, but a long range. So I don't know what the efficiency is. Let's just do a little quick efficiency. So yeah, so showing really efficient. Of course, that's just around here, 273. Let's reset trip B here and just see if we remember to kind of peek back at that later. All right, let's take this for a drive. This definitely does not have the jam, and wow, right off the bat, it's a lot louder. and it's a lot rougher. So that just goes to show you how good the suspension is in the refreshed Model 3 compared to this. I can just, man, you can hear it. And every little bump I hit, you can hear it and you can feel it. I mean, it's not horrible, but it's just so much better in the Model 3 refresh. So anybody who's looking to get a Model Y, you're kind of in the same boat as me. I would definitely be waiting. I do like the stocks though. Man, I love stocks. So yeah, one thing I have to say right away, getting in, just the seating position. It's just so, I just cannot lower the seat or get it in the right position. It just will not go. Like the Model 3 is so much better. You can just slam that seat down, so much better than this one. This is just like, I'm sitting up so high, and the weird thing is it'll go way higher. This is basically as yeah, that's a little better. Okay, so I was able to
500 feet, turn right onto Hamburg Street.
So since you can't lower the back of the seat, I was able to raise the front of the seat a little bit and then put the
Now turn right onto
back
Hamburg Street.
back a little bit, if you understand what I'm saying. So it's overall a little bit higher than I would like, but it feels like position-wise it feels a little better. Okay, that feels a little better. I guess I could get used to this. It's just seems really high compared to the Model 3. So that's a complaint. The handling feels good. I would say the handling isn't bad. It's not as sporty handling, but those are some of the big things I noticed right off the bat with basically just pulling out of the parking lot. Let's get up on the highway here,
Interstate 190 North Ramp.
and we're going to take it right back to the same little park on the river there. Man, I do like the stocks. Just being able to just hit a stock, do a turn signal, compared to that damn Model 3, you really got to think about it. I guess you get used to it, but it is what it is. You know, this handle's pretty, I mean, it corners pretty good. It's got the 19s on it. It's the standard tires, standard wheel and tire combo. Doesn't feel too bad. Let's get it up on this guy moves so I can get in the left lane here. Alright, I'm just gonna kind of let's let it go down. Oh yeah, it does not have much at all. It doesn't feel a hell of a lot slower than the rear wheel drive Model 3, but it is. Yeah, I was really hoping they'd have an all wheel drive Model Y for me to demo. So I guess this is all they give you. They just have the rear wheel drives that they're letting you demo. What I was really wondering is I wanted to do some measurements on the Model Y on the back in the cargo space, which I am going to do next. So stay tuned for that. We are going to be pulling out the tape measure. Those types of things. There's an Ioniq 5 right there. He's going to Canada.
Left at the fork.
Nice cars, Ioniq 5s. Charging monsters. Not super efficient. Range isn't the greatest. But really nice cars. I would probably look at one of those a lot harder if they had some really good deals. But here, I know other states they have better deals, but here in Western New York anyways, I haven't seen any really great deals on the Ioniq 5s. Maybe lease, but I really don't want to lease. I want to buy something and keep it 5, 6, 7 years, something like that. That's why I really think I need to wait for the Model Y refresh. And I think I'm just going to have to go for the performance. I wish they would give you insane mode or a sport plus mode, driving mode in the Model Y performance. I was kind of shocked when I drove the Model Y Performance that it only had 2 driving modes. I think it was standard and sport. And while it is faster in sport, it just doesn't feel nearly as snappy as the insane mode feels when you are driving the Model 3 Performance when you put it in insane mode. The Model 3 Performance, when you put it in insane mode, that's incredible. That is like the pedal modulation, the mapping, pedal mapping is awesome. It's just, you hit it and it just rocks. That's exactly what I want if I'm going to buy a Performance. You buy a Performance Model Y, you don't have insane mode, and it just doesn't have that crazy snap at the very bottom end. I mean, it's not slow. Don't get me wrong, it's fast. It's still 3.50 to 60, but I would bet the 0 to 30 time in a Model Y Performance is quite a bit slower than the 0 to 30 time in a Model 3 Performance. And I think it's because of the way they have the throttle mapped when you get into those driving modes that are above just standard and chill.
In 500 feet,
all right, we're going back out, same park, foot of ferry, and it's just a nice little spot to come down and have a look at these cars. Let's see here, we'll go into here again, and let's go all the way down to the left here where hopefully nobody is down here. Let's go down. Yeah, let's go down here. Let's go right down here really quickly. Nice little spot here. I do like the stalks. Okay. Let's get out and have a quick look. And then we'll get the tape measure out too. That white interior is so nice. Of course, you got the bigger glass on the Model Y roof. Man, that red is nice. Man, that red is nice. It almost makes me want to get that red. Look at the size of this thing. This thing is massive. So I'm going to do a couple of things here. So that seat is where I would sit. So let's take this seat and push it all the way up. Wow. Let's even push this back up a little bit. Okay, so that seat's all the way up. First thing I notice is, I'm assuming you could probably take these headrests off. Look at the amount of space just right here. This is between the seat that's moved forward and the rear seat headrest. So, you know, just thinking for cargo, just loading this car up, tools, whatever you want. Look at the amount of room just right here and there. So that's incredible. And it's a pretty flat recline, or as far as putting the seats down, it goes pretty flat. I have seen guys where they take this out, they take the bottom section out and it goes even flatter. So that's interesting. Okay, so I've got that seat all the way forward. I'm measuring from that seat all the way forward. You got about 85 inches. I think that's where you would measure to. I don't think you would measure to the end of that, but you got about 85 inches there, which is incredible. That's 7 foot 1 inches. That's incredible. Now if you go over to this side, now this is going to the back of my seat, and I'm about 5'11". So you got about 75 inches. So you still got over 6 feet to that seat, which is as you can see, it's pretty far back reclined for my 5'11" torso. So that's just incredible. As now the narrowest spot here, you're about 37.5 inches, the narrowest spot. But man, much wider up there. So to me, that's some serious utility. Yeah, you're probably over 22 inches. You're probably out here because the window kind of bows out. You're probably 24 inches toward the back. And then it slopes down. But that's pretty impressive. This here, I mean, you're over 4 feet going from that armrest. So you're probably about 50 inches from armrest to armrest, maybe 51. But what I'm impressed with is this whole huge amount of space down here. Yeah, this car is so much bigger than the Model 3. Then of course you can open this and you've got this massive sub trunk, 13-14 inches, something like that deep. You're like 32 inches wide, 32 inches wide, like 18 inches, 17.5, 18 inches. Then you got these two huge cubbies on the sides here, which are just massive. So there's not even a comparison. For Model 3, the Model 3 comparison to Model Y, not even a comparison. Let's just check that frunk real quick. I think the frunk is bigger than this car, than the Model 3. Look at the size of that frunk. You're like 36 inches at the max. You're down to like 28 inches at the bottom by like 16 inches. 14 inches deep. That's incredible how big that frunk is. I mean, look at that. That's massive. So, yeah, I would say that that's a hell of a size. Well, it gives you some idea on the measurement. See how far I got that seat up? But man, look at the size there. So technically, you could probably that's as far as it'll go up. So you could crank that back and you could put some stuff here if you really wanted to pack this full. But look at the amount of space here you got. I mean, this is huge. And it goes all the way across. So I think these headrests, these headrests should come off. So that's pretty impressive. You could put, I'm just thinking for those days that I don't really have to take my truck to work and I'm not loading up a bunch of windows or doors, what I could do is I could easily take a car like this, have most of my hand power tools in the frunk, and you could have a whole bunch of other tools in the back sub trunk. And I mean, you could even put your step ladders in here. You could fill this thing up. Seriously. All right, let's get ready to head back. Thanks for watching, guys. I'd love to hear all your ideas in the comments below on what kind of EV you're looking at and what are your priorities. Please like and subscribe. Have a good one. See you later.